Thinking.
Sometime.
I went down, I was in real estate, well, I'm in real estate now, but I was a real estate broker when I was 18. And so I went to New York, got my real estate broker's license in New York, so I had 2 states. But it was in my blood, I guess, so I went to a section of New York City called the Bowery. And it was really, somebody's nodding their head, they know what the Bowery is. It used to be really poor. There was, what they call them, flop houses. You can sleep for a night, for a dime. A quarter was a really high-class joint. And the Bowery became that way because they built the elevated train over what used to be a nice street. And then it just went downhill and eventually became the Bowery, where there's a lot of bars and flop houses. So, before I got to New York in 1960-something, the elevated train was taken down. And so, but the Bowery hadn't recovered. There were still flop houses, but some of them had closed. And I got the idea, well, this Bowery is right between the West Village, which was vibrant, Fillmore East, etc., and the East Village, which was crazy too. So I figured, okay, this Bowery is going to go up in money. So I found somebody that would sell me the building with $500 down, and a promise to pay, if I paid this year, $15,000, next year, $25,000. If it took me 3 years, a little bit more. So he says, okay. So there I was with my own building, 5-story building. It hadn't been used in 17 years. Practically everything in the building was gone. And I was paying them, $100 a month or something like that. And eventually I found somebody to share the building with me. But the city liked that section of Bowery too. They liked it. They liked it because it could become a project. I was one of the few people who was in there trying to make it go. When they lost some kind of expressway that they could build to the city because they got some kind of resistance from the people who owned the houses that they couldn't build that expressway. And they wanted a project to satisfy the unions, who had all these labor people they wanted to put to work. So they condemned my building along with 3 or 4 other city blocks. So, in my heart I said, screw it. And I guess I stopped working. I went to food pantries to get food for nothing. Went to other places to get free meals. I went down to 125 pounds. But the strange thing happened. This is the story. When I got some money in the pocket, I figured how it was from my mother or somebody else, $25 or $30, and somebody asked me for money. I was more generous then, with no money in my pocket, than I am now. I asked the guy what he wanted the money for. He says, I'm trying to get some money together so I can get out of New York City. Instead of giving him what he asked for was a quarter or a half a buck, I gave him $5. And that happened a couple other times. It's funny the way the head works. I guess it has to do with something like identification or something. But I don't feel, I'm not that generous as I was then. It's weird the way the thing works. So I'm hoping I get poor again. So I'm more generous.